The following content is for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
You are now listening to No Free Drinks, the not your ordinary dating, relationships, and sex advice podcast.
Join me, Wesley, your Keeps It Real co-host. We were going out, I would say steady for like 6 to 8 months. We just abruptly stopped having sex. So why are we not getting freaky? Like, what the fuck's going on? So she's like, no, because I've renewed my faith in God. I know how I am. Like, I'm not going to get no cheeks. I'm going to cheat on you. Brock, your Knows-It-All co-host.
And then my go-to hookup one has always and will forever be Tinder. It's just like in the bathroom, like, cool, I got these 5-10 minutes. Like, just thumb game strong. Like,
and Lena D, your No-Chill co-host.
Oh, so do you go down on women? And there were a few men that said, no, like, I don't believe in that. And then I was like, oh, well, I don't believe in fucking you, so we should probably end this.
Shit, God. That's harsh as fuck.
I mean, it's harsh as fuck to say you're not going to eat my pussy out.
Join us every Wednesday for
all type of societal norms being turned upside down.
And welcome back to No Free Drinks. This is Lena D, and I'm here with our co-host.
Hey, it's Wesley.
Hey, guys, it's Brock.
And today we are doing a very fun topic of the woman's lady part, the cookie.
Hey.
The pinocha.
Oh, shit.
The pookie?
The pookie.
Pookie. That's a new one.
Little cute name for it.
The pussy. I mean, I like saying pussy. I know some women out there don't like saying pussy.
Man, they don't like that shit at all.
But what I actually think is really interesting is that we all call it the vagina.
The vagina.
But when we're talking about the vagina, what do you guys think of visually?
Set of lips.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, the vagina is actually only the opening. So when you say set of lips, we're actually talking about the vulva, which is the entire outside components of the woman's lady part.
This is technically true, but you can't see the hole from the beginning.
You stupid.
Yeah, but it's like the whole thing. Like, I don't know, like when women say like the penis, it's like, it's the entire thing. And like women will want to have sex with the penis and it's about pleasing the penis. Mm. And it's interesting that men only think about pleasing the vagina, but the vagina is not including what very important part?
Clitoris.
Yay.
Yes, points. I was like, oh God, don't get this wrong.
Because we're
exactly.
idiots. Because we're idiots.
So that's what I'm talking about. It's like when we're talking about men's pleasure, we talk about the entire organ and we call it a penis, which is what it is. But when we think about pleasuring a woman, we should also be thinking about the entire organ, which in this case, it's the vulva and not just the vagina. So that's what we're talking about today. I thought it would be really interesting to kind of think about like the etymology of the word vagina and where it really comes from. And it actually comes from the Latin word meaning sheath.
What?
And somebody was like, oh, it's the sheath for my sword or some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
That's pretty.
That's pretty fucking, that's pretty spot on,
Yeah.
I think.
Beef in the taco, sheet on the sword. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Geniuses.
And interesting, too, is that it's also the source of the word vanilla. Did you guys know that?
What?
Yeah.
Vanilla?
Did vaginas taste like vanilla back in the day?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're really into a woman, she should taste like vanilla to you.
She should.
She should. But as we will probably get into, it's an acquired taste.
Yeah. But anyway, the reason why it's like the whole vanilla has to do anything with it is because when the conquistadores, Hernando Cortés, when they were conquesting the Aztec Empire, that's when they first discovered the vanilla plant. And they called it vainilla, which means like little pot or little sheath. So going back to the whole sheath reference, that's why there's a sort of like historical word reference between sheath and vanilla and vagina. So the origins of the word vagina.
I'm starting to wonder now, like, what was it called before? vagina. You know what I'm saying? Because Hernando Cortez is like, we're talking like 15th, 16th century. We're not even going that far back. What is it called? The sheath?
I don't know.
Italian? What's the Italian word for sheath?
It was the thing. But
Forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
But on the topic of that, I thought it would be interesting just to really understand how the common man or the average man really knows about the vagina. So I have a little quiz for you guys.
We're doing this under protest, by the way.
Yeah, we're way above average, by the way. Let's get that out there.
Well, let's see how you are in terms of knowledge.
Oh, yeah, I'm stupid.
Execution is different.
Oh, I'm still stupid.
And the thing is, but that's my point. It's like you actually happen to know how to execute on something that we're about to see if you really know a lot about. But most men don't even know any of the things that we're going to start talking about.
Look,
so how do you expect them to execute?
I'm going to admit that I'm probably going to fail this fucking exam.
Teamwork.
All right, well, yeah,
Let's
teamwork
go.
makes the
All
dream
right.
work. All right, let's do it. Let's go. Come on.
Y'all
questions at
can
us.
answer together.
All right, let's go.
So I've already told you that the vulva refers to the entire genitalia of the woman.
Hey.
So how many components does the vulva have?
Oh, Jesus. 2?
3.
Is that your final answer?
Oh, fuck. Please.
Dun,
I'm going with
dun, dun.
3.
Oh, fuck.
Wesley, do you agree or are you going with your
Go
2?
with a different answer so we cover ground.
Two. I'm going with 2. I'm going with 2, motherfucker.
Wrong.
Wrong on
Both
who?
wrong?
You're both wrong.
Oh,
Same
fuck.
answer.
It's 10.
Jesus Christ.
Man,
10.
Come on. How many important ones should have been the question?
No, how many components are there?
Okay.
Because they're all important.
What are the 10? Lena,
I'm
do
glad
Okay,
to know
so
that
no,
the vagina
so-
is just as complicated as women's personalities. Okay. I'm just saying.
What are you trying to zing for here? Don't be salty
was
because you don't know what you're working with.
The penis is pretty much just the penis. It's just a shaft. Just one long stick. All right, but go ahead.
All right,
What's the
yeah,
10?
yeah. For real.
So we're
On some
gonna
real stuff.
we're gonna go through the real stuff, and once I say them, I want you to just tell me what you know, and then if maybe you'll be able to regain your vagina cred out on these streets after that.
None can erase that. That's years of hard work.
Yeah, man. This podcast going up online, man. They're going to be like, what the fuck?
So the first component, which is actually this one's, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys didn't know what it was. But do you know what the mons veneris is?
Sound like Game of Thrones. No.
Yeah, that sounds like some town in Game of Thrones. Like you go into Essos and it's like right near like the Dothraki village. That's where it is, right there. When you go south, that's where it is.
So
Mons veneris.
No. So it's actually the fatty layer of skin that covers the pubic bone.
The fuck?
So like when Wesley goes around talking about he loves fat vaginas,
Hey, I do too.
that's what it is.
This is the first time that anyone's ever heard that, by the way, but it's awesome. I do, though. I really do.
Okay.
All right.
So okay, you both. But it's an essential part of something that you like about a woman.
Yeah, that's right.
And you don't even know what it's called.
I don't. I call it the navel. Yeah. Everything down there is navel, vagina.
Okay.
There it
Part
is.
number 2 is called the vestibule.
What? Vestibule?
Vestibule, yeah. Thanks for.
The
Yes.
hallway?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the hallway.
Oh, so it is?
It
shit!
We got it.
You're
We did
accidentally
it.
right.
We did it. I pronounced it right. You got it right.
It's basically the space between the urethra and the vaginal opening.
Okay. All right.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a name for that.
Yeah.
You know, guys, there's a spot between the balls and the butthole, just called the gooch. That's the slang term. I don't even know what it's really called. I think it's called perianal. I don't know what the fuck it's called. I call it the gooch. So that's like, no, that's not really like the gooch, but
But
Kinda like
it's a part
Okay.
of the entire, like it's part of the vulva. So I'll ask here, have you guys played with that part of the vulva?
Yeah, with the tongue.
yeah, when you put tongue in, you like kind of lick it a little bit, then you
Go
go
up to
up.
the clit.
Yeah,
Come back down.
and then come back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
that before. Yeah.
So you know that it's there.
It's there. It's not like, as you doing it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to hit the vestibule, babe. Entering the vestibule.
So part number 3 is pubic hair.
Pubic
It's
hair.
a part.
Really?
Really? That really
stretch.
counts, though?
That's a stretch.
I mean, you
on.
tell me if it counts.
The pubic hair really counts? You know what? Maybe it does, because it does get in the way of some activities.
Yeah, get a little hairball.
Yeah.
Maintenance, babe. Maintenance.
I mean, it does count. When we talked about balls and why women don't like to fondle or play with the balls, it was because the hair was getting in the way. So I think the same thing applies here. So it's good to know like your preferences and stuff.
All right.
So you
Got
guys
some 70s
missed that.
action. Fucking shaft action.
All right. So at least we knew 2 and 3.
Yeah. Hey.
The 4th one is the labia majora.
All right. The lips. The big lips.
Yeah, the big lips, right?
Big lips. We know that.
Yeah.
Big lips, yes.
The curtains.
Protect everything.
Yeah.
So that's what you thought of when it's the vagina, but like that has nothing to do with the vagina.
Best part.
But
One of the best parts.
and then part number 5 is the labia minora.
Hey.
Yeah. There we go. Little lips.
When you spread it out, you see the little lips.
Wait, is it labia or labia? It's
Labia,
labia, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm over here mispronouncing all these words, and
Oh,
they're part of
man.
my body. Like,
Oh,
it's bad.
man, you
So if
fucking
I
up.
can't even say them, and y'all didn't even know they were a part of
Man,
the
using
vulva.
the scientific terms. That's why. We got.
Little lips, big lips.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
So my 3 was big lips, little lips, G-spot.
They-
I was like, what else is there? If we established a clit wasn't part of it, that would have been the 4th. All right. 4 essentials.
Well, but we'll continue. We'll continue down.
That's 5.
Yeah. So the majora are like protecting the vagina. Like that's when you're like, oh, we don't always see the hole. That's because of the majora.
Ah.
And then what's the difference between the minora and the majora, or the little and the big lips? Do you guys know that?
Oh, man. Can I Google this?
No, you can't Google it.
Is this something with like secretion?
Yeah, this is something about like protection, so bacteria doesn't get in there and stuff. Is that the outside one? I don't know.
Well, no, that's
Or
the
that's the-
outside one. So
okay.
the outside one is meant to protect like the inner organ.
Okay, so the inside one is isn't that supposed to like guide the penis inside and shit like that? I don't know.
This is not all about the penis.
Oh, okay.
But it does.
That little factory workers like, come inside me. Little assembly line.
But the little lips, or the labia minora, are actually really important because you can actually use it as a cue to tell if your woman is aroused.
Hey. how you do that?
Because so the little lips
Yeah.
have a ton of blood vessels.
Oh.
So obviously what happens when you're aroused, it's like your penis gets hard. For women, the same thing happens. Blood rushes down to the vaginal area, to
Hey.
the genitalia. And most women, as they're becoming aroused or as they're getting closer to orgasm, the color of the little lips changes because there's more blood concentrated in that area.
So it's more pinker.
And
Or
it
it's like red.
depends.
Like
I
a
mean,
red
it just
pink.
darkens. So it really depends on the color
I
of
can
the
tell now.
Depending on the skin
So
color.
all I gotta do is like
of
take my
said
2
lady.
fingers, spread the big lips, they call it the majora, and I can tell.
Well, you can see it. If you're actually being visual with your partner, you should be able to see if there's a change down
I was just
there.
going by if she's wet or not. Well,
Yeah, I would
okay.
say that's the wet test,
So
the
that's-
noise
that's-
test,
yeah.
and she's scratching my back test. That's usually the. If you get more squishy, you just slide in there easy. Like, all right, cool.
No, but I thought that was really, I mean, I can't see myself down there, but
Hey.
I mean, I notice that there's changes in how my vagina feels when I masturbate. But most men always talk about that it's like looking for something on a map, and that it's so uncertain if a woman's being aroused. And I've always heard like all of these like conversations around that it's hard to tell if a woman's even aroused. But there are these
That's-
natural cues.
That's a whole nother problem.
Yeah.
If you can't tell if a woman's aroused,
Yeah, you've done
you done already. You dead on arrival. Like,
Nah, man. We got too many of these bad actors out here making men look bad.
Bad sex. But that's something like if you're really not in tune with your partner, or if you're just trying to make an impression on this one night stand and you're really into it, like these are the things that you can look at. So it's not that complicated. It's like we're all trying to just break it down here. So that we're breaking down like all these different pieces so that men see pleasuring a woman and making a woman come attainable. Because I would say that, it's kind of like, men come all the time. So these are things that men should know so that they can make sure so they can make sure that they're making the woman come all the time. Or at least the women they're sleeping with.
If they care.
If they can.
Yeah.
Big thing. Okay. So we made it down to part number 5. So part number 6 is the actual vaginal opening, which is, I think, what you actually know about.
Does that really deserve a number?
Yes, it does. What if it was sealed?
That'd be depressing.
Exactly.
Do all that work and it's like, really? Just fuck?
Chastity belt status right now.
Of course that counts.
Okay.
That's like the main part. That's what you're always gonna. That's most men. That's the only part that they know.
Wait, so is vaginal open equal vagina?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I thought vagina was gonna be another one. It was like, all right, now this is good.
This the sheath. This the sheath.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's actually technically the vagina is like all the way in. So like the actual birth canal.
The tunnel.
Yeah, the little tunnel. So, but the vaginal opening, vagina, that's kind of the main part that you can think of it externally and internally.
Okay.
All right.
But so all men should know that. If they don't, then they shouldn't be fucking.
Fail.
Become a priest. Like just.
So then part number 7 is the hymen.
The hymen. I never seen one before.
Yeah, it's because you didn't sleep with a virgin.
Yeah, but say it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know what it looks like.
I don't really know either because I always try to understand.
It's like a thin film.
It's like a thin piece of skin that kind of covers the bottom part of the vaginal opening.
Oh.
And when you have sex, it breaks.
Oh.
But I always tried to find it and I always struggled and I don't really know what
Does
one
it
looks
exist though? Like after it breaks? Like
oh no, after it breaks, like
there's
I
no
don't think you
back,
can.
right?
Yeah, I don't think you can see it.
Kind of like medicine. It was like,
okay,
don't take this if the seal has been broken.
Yeah, so it all depends on the woman. Like for some women, you can't really tell that it's there anymore because it's been stretched out. For some women, it's fully intact, and
okay.
So I think it depends on like the anatomy of the woman. But technically, after you've lost your virginity, it's harder to see it.
Okay.
Like I could never find it on myself as much as I tried. But then again, I only tried for like a year or 2. And then bye-bye.
Only for a year? That's a long time.
This is only.
I was like, is
only
this
a
it?
year. It's only that.
So that's a part of the vagina. So for youngins out there that are thinking about sleeping and like haven't slept with a woman before, you should probably try to check it out. If she's a virgin. The next big part, so part number 8, is a clit. The clitoris.
Boom.
Clitoris.
So, what do you guys know about the clitoris?
Nerve endings.
A whole lot of nerve endings.
How many?
And then it gets like erect and stuff.
Thousands?
How many thousand?
I don't know, like 10,000 probably.
A little lower.
Oh, shit.
A little higher.
How about 8?
Yep. Ding, ding, ding.
Hey, I got it right. 8,000.
How many more nerve endings does a vagina have than a penis?
Man, probably millions.
Wow, must be a negative nerve endings. You have no feeling in your dick.
Millions.
We don't have that much in our dick. I don't know. 5,000?
You're close. You so penises have 4,000.
4,000? Okay.
So you have half the nerve endings as a clitoris does.
Oh, damn.
Which makes me really sad because you only have 4,000 and you come all the fucking time.
I'm about to say that. So how do we come so
how do we come
so frequently?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's all in the head. It's all in the head. It's concentrated on the head.
But so for the clitoris, like that's the one area that has the most nerve endings.
But the the head of the penis and the penis are one, whereas the vagina and the clitoris are two different things. So you gotta dual wield. You gotta go back and
I'm
forth.
starting to wonder, why is the sensitivity coming in? It's like, oh, I got 4,000 nerve endings. You know, chicks suck on it, you come in her mouth, and it's just like she keeps sucking. It's like, nerve wracking. So
Well,
now
that's,
it's just like,
so that's the thing. It speaks to the power of the vulva in women.
Oh shit!
Because men are a little weak. They just like squirt.
Whoa, no generalization.
Whoa. These are holistic generalizations.
There's a good amount of men who can't put it down out there.
I highly disagree with this statement that Lena D has just stated. What the fuck was that all about? That's messed up.
I'm just saying that it doesn't take a lot of work for a man to come.
No, not at all. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do some real freaky shit, or you just gotta really put it down. And then
But it's
over.
like, it's almost, so like, let's think about it this way. So it's like inner strength, right? Like, you have to have a lot of strength to not come.
Well, yeah, because if it's good, then it's like, I don't want to like shoot the cum out before.
There's no reason to like switch positions. So it's like, all right,
all right, you got a little break.
Little baby reset. All right, babe, turn over real quick. All right, go over here. Like, all right, cool. Compose myself.
You know what's great is like when chick gives you a break, like, you know, she gets down, she sucks on it after, like, that's like the best. It's like, oh my God, this is a little break right now before I got to go back in there.
Focus.
Baseball
and
focus
puppies.
On this baseball and puppies.
But then it's like, okay, with women, men have such a difficult time making them come, but it should technically be easier.
You would
because of the number of nerve endings.
Of course. But what if he's not eating it right? Or what if he's not, you know, his stick game is not as solid as it should be?
Or what if he thought that my clitoris was inside? So
oh, man.
I had...
But see, that person needs to like chill out and relax. Relax. You got to do some research, buddy. Just a little bit. It'll help you.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Which is why we're going through this, because it's important to know all these different parts.
I know a chick that she said like her first time some guy tried to stick in her belly button. I was like, I'm done.
Damn.
I'm so done. I'm done. It's over.
That's not how this works.
No, it's not. Any of this shit works. It doesn't come out the belly button, bro.
So, did you know that the clitoris actually has legs?
Legs? The fuck? Like in the hood?
Like below it?
Yeah.
So the nerve endings actually kind of form like a little wishbone. Think about it. So like the clitoris is at the real top. So like that little part of the bone. And then like they kind of like stretch along the lips.
You can feel it.
Yeah. So it's not just one part. Like the most sensitive part is the clitoris. But then the legs actually run along.
All right. I got a question though. Like, all right, this dumbass question. So let's say a guy's like trying to finger your clit, and then he goes 2 ham sandwich, right? Does that hurt? It's like a guy when he comes, and then you still kind of like jerk it off a little bit. And I just actually
did
the
fucking diesel grip. Like, all right, relax.
I just did the jerk off motion, and that is pause on that. I just want to describe what my hand motion is. Pause, holistic pause moment, but that's all right though. Anyway, no pause. But what does that happen? Like, it's just like, it's like,
do they rub it too hard?
If they rub it too hard, it's like a guy when he comes, he's like, stop. This shit is nerve wracking. You about to give me a headache and shit. You know, like it feels way too good, too sensitive.
Well, sometimes it depends because like guys will be too rough with it. And it's not even sensitivity. It's just that it's painful.
Oh, easy. Chill out. Be easy.
Like, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I had a guy bite my clit once.
Oh, I'm done. It's over.
Yeah, so like that was like, you know, that was extra. I was just like, I was not ready for that.
Yeah, that's too much. He bit your clit?
He was like really into it, and I was just like, oh, okay, good, this feels great. And then all of a sudden, teeth, and I was like, oh, that was too hard with the teeth.
Nice, like not chill.
And
you know the thing when you're not eating it right. This is what I've noticed when you know like you're not eating it right. We're just like, oh no, baby, I just want you to be inside. But that's you're like, oh, I've been a part of that.
Well,
before.
it depends on how she says it.
No.
Because if you eat it right for a while, and like she's screaming the entire time, and then after
she might
a while,
be thinking that shit too. He's like, nah.
If she's fucking silent and says, "All right, babe, like just shut the shit down."
It's like, all right,
I'm ready for you to.
Yeah, because some women's just more of a foreplay. So like, all right, once the foreplay is done, like, all right, stop teasing me, put this dick in me.
Put it
no, but like usually, I think it's, well, in my experience, it's easier for me to come through a clitoral orgasm. So it's my preferred go-to. It's my favorite. It feels the best.
That's just a lot of work, though.
So, okay, the other part, because we'll talk more about the different orgasms too, because there's more than one. The next one, number 9, was the clitoral hood. That was the other piece.
That's the thing that covers the clit, right?
Yes.
Hey, I got one right. For sure.
And did you know that when a woman's aroused, it actually like retracts itself like a little turtle?
Hey, didn't know that.
Yeah. And then the last part of the vulva is the urethra.
That's where all the pee goes out.
It's not just pee, though.
Squirt, squirt, squirt.
So there are actually these glands around the outside of the urethra that are called Skene glands. And for women that are able to squirt, that's where part of that liquid comes from.
Hey.
Don't like squirters.
What?
Don't like squirters.
Oh, that is
Why? Because they make a mess?
sacrilegious.
Yes. So had one squirter entire lifetime. And then like when you watch porn, like, oh, like this shit looks cool as shit. Like, oh, it's like
crazy.
gushing. Oh. Like this has to be fake.
Yo, he's
Then
stupid.
met this chick. I think she gave me forewarning, like ahead of time. Yeah, like I'm a squirter, which is like why I try to limit my sexual partners.
She hit you with the Duns Falls in Jamaica.
So I'm like, cool, like whatever, like curious. And then so we would have sex at my place. It was probably like 4 years ago or whatever. And then so I put an extra layer of sheets, blanket, comforter, just drenched. I'm just like, oh my Jesus, I have to fucking sleep in this right after. This is the most annoying. Like no matter what I put, it would be soaked every
You
single
needed like
time.
a plastic tart or something.
Yeah, like a disposable bed or some shit like this. Is so annoying. It's like, oh, and it's pretty much, yeah, every time she came, she would squirt and just like.
See, I don't know if I'd be able to deal with that every single time I came.
It's annoying. I was like.
I love it because it's like.
But the vagina's all wet, though. All you got to do is bloop, it's in. And it's like.
Yeah, but it's fun until she squirts.
You're stupid.
No, I mean, like, I squirt, but it's not a, yeah, you got it again. Like, it's a special experience.
Oh, no, this is fucking Steph Curry 3-point shot. Automatic, wet. I'm like, oh.
Damn.
Like, oh, God.
That would be a lot of work. But I think it's good. I mean, I enjoy it. And it's also a treat for me because it's a very different type of orgasm.
Hey.
So I mean, if that's the only type of orgasm I knew, of course I would enjoy it. But I can see how it can be a lot of work for somebody else.
Fucking Gain detergent on fleek.
Yeah, or just have sex in the garden. What are these plants?
Be like, all right, the plants have been
shit, motherfuckers grow
nurtured.
big as shit. Like, oh, goddamn.
Oh man, that's so funny. All right, so those were all the parts, but we didn't talk about the internal parts because those are different parts.
What's the
Because the vulva is just the outside parts of the vagina.
outer limits.
So now we also have to cover some of the important parts of the inside of the vagina.
Inside limits.
So we already know about the birth canal. We talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
It's muscles. It feels like little rings. That's what guys love. But then the other piece inside is the G-spot.
G-spot.
Oh,
Flick the bean.
I told y'all, motherfuckers,
But don't
how
really
to get
flick
to
the bean.
A couple episodes
More
ago.
metaphorical. Don't flick the bean. That'll hurt. Don't do that.
Well, that's like the inner bean, like the G-spot, or like it kind of feels like a walnut.
Hey, it's bumpy.
Walnuts are big. Oh,
Kind of bumpy. Like a braille, like
It's
bumpy
bumpy
braille.
though, like it's like a little.
walnuts
It's like a little
huge.
braille. It's like braille language in there.
Yeah, it's smaller. Not walnut. I'm thinking this big ass.
Yeah, I don't know, but when I've touched it, it feels like a little. It's like rough. It kind of feels like a walnut, even though it's not that big. It's not as big as a walnut, but the texture is
Pistachio.
Like the texture is not it's not like, it doesn't feel like a bean because a bean is smooth.
Smooth, yeah. It's more like a pistachio size wise. Do like pistachio ice.
But so it's surprising how I was like trying to get a sense of like how knowledgeable people are of the G-spot. So I was like looking around on forums and stuff, and it's surprising how many men complain that they can't find it.
Oh, it's like bumpy braille. It's like,
really?
You put your fingers in there.
Isn't it always on the top?
It's on the top, and they like you like your fingers. You hook your fingers
middle to the back, top. Like you gonna feel
the
this shit. Like how do you not?
It's like on the interior wall, so like you have to like kind of hook it in, and then kind of pull in the opposite direction of like how it's going in a little bit. But I will say that I can't reach mine. So like for me,
got little bitty fingers. That's why. I want a man with some long fingers. Get in there.
But it's really annoying because I can understand the frustration of other women that haven't, like if they're experimenting and masturbating, I can understand the frustration that women may not be able to find their own G-spot, but it's there.
It's there, I guess.
And as far as any other internal...
Quick, I just came up with a good analogy to help guys who can't find G-spot. It's pretty depressing. I'm judging the shit out of you. Think of it as those of you you're driving down the street and there's a school speed bump. So you don't feel it. Like you don't feel it when you pass it. So just keep going.
Yeah.
Unless you got short ass fingers.
And it's like, oh,
and you just fucked. And
you're pretty fucked.
Yeah. You probably got small penis too.
Oh no! Don't say that.
Just kidding.
You gotta try in different ways though, because I mean, even if your penis is small, you still got that tongue and you got those fingers.
Something you gotta be good at something.
So use them both at the same time.
There you go.
And then the last piece that we'll touch on, because the vagina still has, I mean, the entire organ still has more parts, but the other one that's the most relevant is the cervix. So that's
stop sign.
That's that's the stop sign. Like you do not want to go in further than the cervix, and you don't want to pound the shit out of the cervix either.
Yeah, that's you don't get brownie points for that. You
really don't.
Fucking doghouse for doing that.
It's just not cool. So those are all the parts, and hopefully that was helpful both to men and women, because it's important that everybody knows the different components, because every single part of the entire organ can be used to pleasure a woman. So, orgasms. I once said that it took me like 3-4 years to orgasm, and it shouldn't have been that difficult. But it's a combination of like, I played with my body, but I wasn't really into playing with my body. I wasn't always relaxed when I was masturbating. So I think the first
parents in the other room.
I had like little brothers running around. It was a mess. But the big thing is that I think in general, women just need to be comfortable with their body, with their vaginal parts, the vulva, whatever we want to call it. And it doesn't have to be a mystery, neither to women and men alike. So I kind of am curious to hear like your stories about your first experiences with a vagina, a woman's
orgasm,
genitalia, and making her orgasm.
Oh,
yeah, we touched upon this before. Feels it's like two stories. First story would be when it was just all about me. I came, I was good, so I didn't really care if she came, and it was just, whatever. That was just all genetics. Genetics helped me out in that area. It's like, I got this good dick. He's not going to do nothing else but give me the dick.
Oh, jeez.
No tongue, no finger, no nothing. Just like, all right, cool. Then I'm like, kind of fucked up. It took me a while. I'm like, it's kind of fucked up. Then I started caring. And yeah, you just familiarize yourself with the female anatomy by touch than anything. This is why we didn't do too well with this biology class. But like, if you put us in the field, like, let's knock that shit out the park. But the technical names we didn't know as much. But yeah, like more just by touch and by body language. her change in breathing, her tightening of embrace, and she's scratching. So like just like picking up clues like that. She may direct you, whatnot. So yeah, so stuff like that. Just actually caring, and shit wasn't working for the last minute and a half. Switch that shit up. Like just try different stuff.
Like my experience, the first time, I'm trying to remember. Okay. So this was actually this is more me caring and stuff like that. I told you the one story a couple episodes about how, kind of Cosmo helped me out in this situation where I was trying to eat it out, and, that oral Kama Sutra helped me out a lot. She came and then she started like asking me questions about where I get these new skills from. That kind of was one thing. But the other one, this was through kind of like a vaginal orgasm where like there's some guys I would recommend this for, but I did it anyway. So what I did is I was put her ankles kind of like all the way back. Like if you're in the missionary position, like you kind of like on your knees and then you push your legs back.
Back to the headboard.
Yeah, exactly. And then you kind of like, so that was like actually the first time like I got a chick to orgasm through insertion or whatever. So I thought that was cool. I was like, I'm gonna do this all the time. But like you can't do it all the time because some women can't take it, and the ones that can, like, they're not flexible like that. So
it's also we get into like hitting the cervix territory.
Yeah, that's
some
true
women
too.
have like a smaller birth canal.
Yeah, but when chick says deeper, and then you ain't got you
just ran out of dick. I left my extra dick at home. Sorry, I want to put on the medium-sized dick today.
Medium-sized dick. All right, fuck this. I'm gonna put your ankles behind your ears, and you just go to you getting all the walls right there. So yeah. So that, I know, funny story, but it's a true one.
I mean, it works. I mean, sometimes that's what you're in the mood for, and it'll make you come.
Yeah, I was moved for that. Like, I was just like, man, you gonna do some freaky shit tonight. And that freaky shit, I was like, man, I'm fucking all the way up. So,
and it's a pleasant surprise sometimes. But it's interesting because not every dude takes the time to do the feeling and the reading cues.
Right.
So it's just like, we got to break it down like even further.
Right.
Yeah, let's help them out.
Yeah.
Help these fools out.
So
let's ride out on these motherfuckers.
How many types of orgasms technically can women have?
Hey.
Do y'all know?
I'm a cheat.
8.
That's about right.
Hey.
Yeah.
8. There we go.
So I kind of touched on my favorite type of orgasm, which is clitoral.
Hey.
So I'm going to let y'all school these people because since y'all are experts and stuff.
I'm going to let you go, Brock. You go first.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I mean, so you got with the clit, you got two options. You got the tongue game and you got the finger game.
There you go.
And like, I feel as though like, I don't want to say growing up, make it seem so we had sex since 2. Younger than our current age. Like, the first thing you hear is tongue game is like the stupid ABC shit. To be honest, it's not. It's just like, at least what I do is just variation in tongue speed, tongue direction, and it's body cues. Like,
there you go.
She'll either explicitly or implicitly like direct you on like if you're doing a good job or not. It's just like, and like we said in the previous episode, like every woman's body's different. So like you're not gonna be able to do the same thing to Vicky 1 to Vicky 2. Like, it's just gonna be different. So like, yeah. So for clit, you could do tongue, or you could do finger, and then, or I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Well, I usually like you do tongue on the clit and the finger on the G spot. So you get the 2-for-1.
I got my thumbs up, by the way.
So you do the tongue on the clit, the right hand in the G spot and the left hand on the left nipple. So you got the 3-for-1.
Oh
so
my
just
God.
you got combinations out here.
All the moves.
God damn.
You got combinations out
got
here.
one left.
All these combos.
Sure, let me go first.
You about to have a pussy fatality.
Oh man.
Which is amazing when it does happen. Like those are the best, like multiple like stimulation.
She don't know what to focus on.
Squirming around. And it kind of reminds me of like, is it Sub-Zero? Good over here. It's just like you can't take it anymore, but that's like the best type. So yes.
So
I support that.
so I have this one. Brock didn't go over this one, but this is kind of like a Wesley special. So I'll do what Brock said too, but then there's one thing that I do, like I'll vary the tongue speed a little bit, but I have big lips, so a lot of times what I'll do is that like I'll suck on the not too hard, but I'll suck on the clit a little bit, and then I'll twirl my tongue, kind of like a little tornado-y kind of action. Cause like I found that when you do that a lot, it's just like it makes like women go fucking crazy. Just like, oh my God, what the hell are you doing to my clit? What the fuck are you doing to my clit? So Brock said what he said, and that's usually kind of like some of my go-to stuff. If I'm really, really into it, and it's like I'm really into this girl, I'll tease her a little bit first. To kind of like get her worked up, because a lot of times like when you meet a girl, it's like her guard's up and stuff like that, so you gotta break down the guard first before you can't just go like, oh yeah, let's see you, and then just rip her fucking pants off, and then boom, you just start eating it. That's good when you're drunk, but that's not good when it's like a semi-intimate situation. So what I like to do is like I'll lick on it a little bit, I'll tease it, and then like I'll blow on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'll lick on a little bit and then I'll blow on it, make chick go crazy. Or like I'll like kiss around her labia a little bit. So I'll kiss that and then I'll like blow on it a little bit. So I'll go up and down on the clit. I'll do the twirl action because that's me. That's the Wesley special. I'll get into a little bit more of that in probably a later episode, but
you're just getting small tips right now, people.
Yeah,
you got to hit that subscribe button to get more.
Actually, you know what? Fuck, I'm getting it right now. So, so like what I'll do is like I'll suck a little bit just to kind of like levitate it. And then like I'll place like the clit kind of like under my bottom teeth. That sounds painful, but it's not at all. It's you're just laying the clit up, but you have to put a little pressure against like her vagina, and then kind of like as you're sucking, you like twirl your tongue a little bit. You do it counterclockwise, you can do it clockwise, doesn't matter. It feels different in each scenario. So yeah, that's me. That's one of that's the Wesley special, guys. I gotta write this shit down in the fucking book, yo.
We gotta make a book out of this
also,
shit.
back to the clitoris, just remind me one, the clitoral hood as well.
Yeah,
that's also something you can suck on as well, and do a little tongue action there. And also kind of like to the tease point. So like even before you go down to the vulva area, like kissing her neck.
Yep.
I kind of do it in like layers. So you start
head first,
biting the lip, go to the neck,
mm-hmm.
go to the breast, nipples, and start kissing down the middle of her torso. Down the belly button, leave the panties on a little bit. Start kissing around the panties and on the panty. Then you slowly start pulling it off. And then you could go into everything we just said.
Hey.
So yeah, you gotta
tease it up. You gotta build it up.
You gotta build it up.
And that's why a lot of women say like it's all about the foreplay. Because like this, it takes like you're thinking through it. Like, and it's not just like bam, smash.
It's like methodical.
So, I'll just add some of my preferences. I love it when a dude like dips his tongue around my clit and on my clit, because it's just, especially if he does that in between the twirling and the different types of sensations. So like that's a big plus for me. Another thing that I enjoy is the whole like G-spot stimulation as I'm getting eaten out. So that's like a great move to use. But what I will say is that some women aren't always aroused by their G-spot being touched. Sometimes it's either too sensitive or they don't feel anything. So in that case, it's more about playing around with the other parts of her vagina. So like whether it's the outside of the opening or like the whatever the technical name was, vestibule, or what, how do you pronounce it? Vestibule. Yeah, that word. Playing around with that area, like playing around with the lips, just like really just touching different parts of her vagina. And then you can kind of see it's kind of like you're adding additional pressure points that you're touching. And like, remember we said the clit does have those little legs. So if you're focusing your tongue on the clit, you still have your hands to play with the rest of her body or her breast.
Yeah.
So it's all about just being ultra sensory and what you're touching and how you're touching it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like the lips is like definitely another area that you can get into as well. Don't forget about that. And yeah, I also agree with the G-spot. G-spot feels a tough one because clitoris is more, I feel as though, standard from chick to chick, whereas G-spot like is hit or miss.
Yeah.
And that's not applicable to me, but if you're a guy, you may not have as much length to you. You might not even reach the G-spot. So then, or you might have smaller fingers. So G-spot, there's a lot of reasons why G-spot may or may not work.
Right.
But if it works for her, it works for you. Like that's just another move for the repertoire.
That actually reminds me. I've had dudes say like they've complained that their arm hurts because like their arm isn't like long enough for them to be in a comfortable position eating me out and doing that. Oh. So another, this is like more of a pro recommendation, is like bring toys into the room. So you can find some sort of dildo or G-spot rubber that she likes using and just suggest if she's willing to use it, if she does use it already.
Hold on, I have a question now.
Yes.
It might be actually more question for the fellas than for you guys. Is that cheating? Like, not like cheating in terms of like another person, but like
your skill isn't.
Yeah. You're using like enhancements.
I mean, from my perspective, it's not cheating because I'm at least getting my orgasm. And like, I normally would just be using the toy, and the fact that I have an actual tongue on my clit and the toy, that's just an added bonus. But that's my perspective. I don't know how dudes feel about it.
I mean, I'm not egotistical when it comes to the bedroom. I said it a long time ago. I don't take the ego to the bedroom. So if it's toys there, like whatever.
I like the challenge.
Yeah. He's like, I like the challenge.
But but that's the thing though. It's like, if you're this dude that has been searching for the clit and looking for a magical map on every single woman and you still haven't found it after 8 years of fucking.
Oh yeah. Okay. In that case, yeah, just give up.
Just like, if you can't find it, if it's not your thing, just go ahead and like use some assistance. Like she's just going to appreciate having come, and you're probably one of the first dudes that maybe has even suggested doing something like that.
There you go.
So it gives you some brownie points. But it has to be like a woman that actually has toys. Some women I know are not into toys.
Yeah.
It all depends on who your lover is.
Interesting. Also, another I guess safety tip besides your arm hurting, you need that proper neck support. So especially if you're gonna be down there for a while, you need the proper
know what?
Neck placement.
You know what? That reminds me of something. I think you're about to know what I'm gonna get to next. You know what I dislike seriously when the chick moves around. It's just like I'm trying to hit this spot and you like kind of like fidgeting a little bit. That shit hurts my neck. Number two,
my neck hurts sometimes.
When you like about to come and you feel like your leg's about to squeeze my head, you about to decapitate my ass. I don't really appreciate that. Like, come on, chill out. Like, relax a little bit. Just relax the legs a little bit. Just relax.
Yeah, so I feel as though it's not the most comfortable spot, but you can do. And then one way I usually get by is kind of lean my head on one of her legs to use that kind of as a support. But yeah, it's not going to be like
the most comfortable.
Yeah, it's going to be some slight discomfort, but her orgasm in 1 to 2 times is worth it. So hang in there, motherfucker. Hang in there.
Man, these are some great nuggets that we're sharing with both our men and women listeners out here. We actually didn't expect this, but it looks like we might have to go into a second episode to talk more about the punane.
Oh, yeah.
So we are almost out of time, so I wanted to thank you guys for joining us. Stay tuned for our part 2 of the Vagina Monologues. And
NFT's version of that shit.
So I hope that you enjoyed that and that you'll tune in to our second episode. And let us know what you thought about today's episode. If you thought we got too technical, if we didn't get technical enough. If after the next episode you still have questions, especially the dudes, please don't be shy. Hit us up. You can find us on our website, NoFreeDrinks.com. We have a contact us form. And we want to hear what you have to say. And if you have other sex tips that we haven't mentioned that you want us to share, we'll take those too. And thanks for joining us today at No Free Drinks. Don't forget that our episodes release every single Wednesday, of course, hump day. But the easiest way to stay in touch with us is to just subscribe to our podcast. And you can find us by searching No Free Drinks on your favorite podcast app. But for my Apple users, show us some love, especially if you love what you're hearing. Rate us and leave us a review. And specifically, if you're a big social media user, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. You can find us at _NoFreeDrinks. And in our bio, we have a link where you can easily connect to wherever we're playing our podcast, as well as our other social media platforms. And we hope that you loved today. Thanks for coming. I hope it was good for you too. This is Lena D. Kisses.
This is Wesley. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Hey guys, this is Brock. Make love, not babies.